That's right. That's right. Hello, HEXICO. It's your boy, Thothschild, in the motherfucking house. In the motherfucking house. We're up in the motherfucking guts of the house. Hello, my people. Are we live? Are we live? I see side effects. I see Mobius. I see SJ. I see HexyBee. I see the Godfather J6. What up? What up? I see Alan Fils Ami up in the house. Let's get some shit. Well, in case you guys can't tell, yeah, Thothschild's usually a little flustered. That might have something to do with my real life. Ooh. My life would kill 90% of you motherfuckers. I guarantee that. So we are rocking, and I didn't even like make a big deal out of this, but truth told, it is like a massive deal, guys, because I'm not supposed to be streaming in the first place. You know what Jesus Christ, go ahead there, Magnum PI. I'm not supposed to be streaming in the first place, guys. Seriously, at this point in my life, with as little time and resources, to be at episode number 10, I'm fucking proud, guys. I am very proud that the Thothschild channel has now made it to episode number 10. Georgia Carrera, I see you, my dear. Guys, Mobius, side effects. Can you hear me? Can you see me? No fucks given is right, sunshine. Let me see. Video cut out. Oh, snap. Send me the link for Cosmic Cowboy. I tried to find him, my love, and found out that there's about 67 Cosmic Cowboys, right? Okay. Well, I definitely am. Guys, listen, I am fortunate tonight. I truly am, because I have some lovely, lovely special guests. And I'm going to bring them in here momentarily. But as is the ubiquitous habit of yours truly, I'm going to force you folks to endure me for a bit. I think it would actually behoove me, right, to actually lay out what this serendipitous synchronicity is. Some people see, here's one of my flaws, fatal flaw. I give y'all too much credit. Whales, if you listen to me in whale stream, it's almost the apex genesis of an argument every fucking time we're together anymore. Because the brother is like, shut the fuck up. You're going way over their heads, way over their heads. And I'm operating from this basis that like everybody understands what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, dude, do they not only understand the concept of what you are saying, but they literally did not get 3 of the 8 words that came out of your mouth. Now, listen to what I said. That is not me being highfalutin at all or egotistical. I know who I am. I know what I am. Okay. I know where I am. As I've said before, I lie to myself less now than I have at any portion of my life. And believe me, my entire life was a lie at one point. So it ain't me being big-headed, but what it is it's a flaw of mine, right? Not to have the 360 on my audience. I want you guys to know I am never, I swear on my life, I'm never throwing around intellectualism to quote unquote seem a certain way. Like I'm giving it to you as it's given to me, because really at the end of the day, that's all it is. Just like my music, just like my writing. This is not ownership of the vanity, of the ego of Ian, aka Thothschild. I'm a vessel. Like at our best, we are vessels. It comes down, it comes in, flows forth, hopefully shared, hopefully giving benefit. So if I say, Thothschild now has a theorem of serendipitous synchronicities. My God, I'll see you in the Rathskeller later then. Guys, sometimes I'm going to ask you to do a little work, okay? If I'm with Wales Only One and he's reading charts, am I going to front or step like I know how to read charts better than that motherfucker? No. So here's Wales. Here's Thothschild. Guess what Thothschild has to do? I got to get up there. I got to, even if, like he even said last episode that we were together, he said, even if you're just chipping away, like even a baby step, each only human step every day. That's one of our problems, guys. Cut off your nose to spite your face. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Quit before you even begin. How do I have the authority to speak on these things? Because I spent a long time fucking up. Don't do it. Accept life on life's terms. I couldn't do that. Couldn't do it. Couldn't fucking do it. It's why I snorted fucking 3 ounces of cocaine a week. It's why I ate fucking Oxycontin like they were chiclets. Because I refused, right, to live life on life's terms. And it was my mama. God bless her soul. She laid that on me one time. Holy shit. And from there, it's a cascade of effects, isn't it? Because then you have to look in the face of your own being and your own choices and your own shortcomings. And then you got to sit down for a minute and be like, oh, this isn't anybody else's fault. Come now, join me, Lord of mercy. Rat's cellar, says Craig. I said Rath's Skeller. If y'all ever been on the University of Pennsylvania campus, the Ivy League school in Philadelphia, boy, you want to talk about a classic fucking Rathskeller. It's a bar on a university campus. It's quite an antiquated thing too. You wouldn't see that at like LSU in the student union, but if you go to like some fucking high-end schools, they have these Rathskellers. The older ones, they'll have a Rathskeller right on fucking campus. It's literally where everybody used to, take their lessons and their debates and conversations, and they'd go drink. Because that's where a lot of American business and thinking got done. Okay, the girls are coming in here momentarily. I am going to read a shortened version of the description of the serendipitous synchronicities in HEXICO theory, but maybe I'll just bring the girlsies in to, feign interest. Hello, most beautiful. You are muted, my dear. Oh, shit, she said.
I said, that's right. Bring it.
HexyBee. Hi. Welcome. You're muted as well, dear.
Wee.
Hi. Thank you for joining us, HexyBee. It's like you're going strictly off your trust for SJ by even doing this. You're like,
I'm so sorry.
Who is this fucking guy? What is this all about? Like, yeah, don't go down the alley with that dude. Don't go on stream with this dude. So SJ, thank you so much. So HexyBee, it's nice to meet you, my dear.
Same. Nice to meet you as well.
Right on. I have to let you girls know, SJ already knows, and she is oh, she's a master at knowing how to take me, right? She doesn't get flustered. She doesn't get embarrassed. She doesn't get offended. For other people, it can sometimes be a stretch. Two things. I am uncouth, and I am a 17-year veteran of the streets of Philadelphia, HexyBee. So I might sometimes lack a lot of the consideration or propriety that your usual domesticated male animal might be in possession of. So please forgive me. I never mean to hurt anybody's feelings or to threaten anybody. I'm just a little bit intense sometimes, and I'm kind of gross. So thank you. So real quick, ladies, I'm going to lay this out for you. SJ has an understanding, because I'll tell you, this is a topic that her and I have been really excited to have conversations about and kind of build upon. Now, I'm not dissing my fellas, because my fellas is my squad, but I have tried to have my tribesmen across these airwaves on multiple occasions, and the mandate was, guys, let's talk about the serendipitous synchronicities in HEXICO. They were talking about fucking beef jerky and hunting cabins last episode. I just could not get these guys back on track. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go outside the cipher this time a little bit, and I want to get a fresh angle. So that's kind of why you ladies are here. And if we're lucky, everyone, we might actually be briefly joined by one HexySiren later on, HexSiren. So real quick, ladies, I will shut up right after this. Thothschild, serendipitous synchronicities in HEXICO theory. Yes, sounding intimidating for an organic, natural, beautiful, elegant, both simple yet awe-inspiring phenomena. You notice that since you have been in HEXICO, there have been an increasing number of strange occurrences. For the sake of my angle, let's call them resonances, the synchronicities now. They can be remarkable themes. They could be occurrences. They could be twin, triplicate, quad duplicating similarities, usually through or with others, but sometimes not. They can feel both inspired and inspiring. They can invoke feelings of mission or purpose, of consonance and amplitude, enhancement, excitement, profundity, clarity. They can even take on characteristics that were previously either unfamiliar or faint in your life, but now have become intense, deep, pulsating, throbbing energies. Once again, my mama, bless her beautiful soul, she would look at me and she'd say, you know, when you're experiencing that, honey, it's God telling you that you're on the right path. Thanks again, Mother. Our lives right now, contemporary, my beloved Pulse-Chaniacs, my beloved Hexicans, our lives right now are being lived in the middle of a crossroads and a passion play of this human species. Sit down and wrap your mind and your heart and your soul around it. It's true. You're going to say, you're going to counter, oh, well, everybody thought the apocalypse was right around the corner. At every age, it was always the end times. It was always the big decision. Well, to a lesser extent, yes, but I'm here to tell you that people who would wish us harm, people who in their own insecurity and psychopathic nature, they now have something that they didn't have in the days of Nebuchadnezzar or King John, right? They have fucking technology, guys. Nebuchadnezzar, unless he had a really kick-ass sorcerer, could not hear every conversation in every room, okay? These motherfuckers now, as we come to the head, have this technology at their fingertips. And I guarantee you they have a lot more technology than you think they have. Probably about 50 to 100 years ahead of what the public thinks. I digress. In conclusion, those of us who are awake or are in the process of waking up, there's no two ways about it. We are indeed on an esoteric and meaningful path. Now, here you are with a group coalesced hexicans, right? Fix the money, fix the world, fix your life. Get right with God, with yourself, with your higher being, with your purpose, with the universe, with empathy, with compassion, with love. Get right with it. So as we fix this money, we fix this world, we fix our lives. I just have to say, Mama, I bet you probably even knew in the back of your mind that one day I would be on a path this big with my brothers and my sisters. AWildSJ HexyBee, welcome to Mind Spray.
Woo.
Woo.
There it is.
There it is.
So
What do you think?
Eloquently put.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a super serendipitous journey for me, for sure, into this world. I did not know about Hex when I was selling my house last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just happened to be studying finances. I knew that I was going to have some extra cash to make sure that I was set up for my future. And
Right.
at the time I was thinking, I had this like list of where all this money was going to go and, paying off my debts. And then I was like, okay, well, I can put some in a Roth IRA and I can open a high yield savings account.
Mm-hmm.
What a joke. And
Whales jokes and legacy now. I mean, he thought I was being too liberal. I was like, yeah, I guess like 1.5, 2% is a good return. He's like, man, they'll be partying, dancing in the streets if you can get 1% return APY
It's ridiculous.
on anything. It is. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, yeah, it's a good point because it's really absurd, and that's the thing is people think that that's the only options that are available. Like we don't know better. most people out there have no clue.
Hence the mission
Mhm.
aspect. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been consumed since I came in. I
Yeah,
couldn't keep
no,
this to I couldn't keep this to myself. How could I
Exactly.
keep this to myself?
Yep. Yeah. So, I started just kind of looking into a bunch of different options, and then lo and behold, a sweet friend of mine, Crypto Kool-Aid, found out that I was
Sir Lawrence.
wonderful man. He just kind of chimed in. I can't remember how the conversation started, but I think he may have reached out to me and just been like, hey, remember a few years ago I told you to put your, I bought a tiny bit of Bitcoin or something. And in 2017, he had advised me to kind of divvy that up into a bunch of different coins. And I did that. And then I just left it. I had no desire to learn anything at that time.
I did the exact same thing. I got crypto. It took that shit in 18 or something. And then I said, fuck this. And I took half the money right back out and I left $300 or $400 worth of Ethereum in a fucking Coinbase wallet and never thought about it. Well, you guys know what happened after that. I come back to that account like what was it? Like almost 3 years later. And it's like 6, 7x. I'm like, what is going on here? I forgot about this.
Nice. Yeah, mine did not do that. I don't remember what, I actually at this point don't even remember what I held, but he just said, take everything from all those different coins and put it into Hex. He's like, this is
Crypto Kool-Aid, ladies and gentlemen, her good friend and kind of, I guess you could call him maybe the leader of your network almost. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He's been a friend of mine for over 10 years at this point, just through the drum and bass scene, dancing. we're both avid drum and bass
That's
dancers.
the
And
wildest shit, because I'm listening to this motherfucker for a year and I'm like, that's a big brain dude. And then it comes out later on that this blonde haired little guy over here is actually like a break dancer and like has like all these skills dancing. And I was like, God damn, you talk about a polymath.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So just so grateful to have him in my life. And just he told me that, he's like, it's good, it's all good and well that you trust me, but I want you to listen to these other people. And Whales Only One was the first one that really resonated with me, because I had just taken that options trading class. And so I was starting to become familiar with the world of fiat and stocks and all these different things. So it was like perfect time. Again, synchronistically, perfect timing for me to be. I would not have had the education prior to this to really wrap my head around what hex is and why it's important to hold.
I got you.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss
That was the
B?
first.
How
did you find hex come up in this community, I guess?
Sure. I heard about it. It was one of the lucky ones. It was my first crypto, because
Wow.
I've been looking at them for several years prior. And none of it made sense to me. Like, I would sit and read it and look at the purpose of it. And anyone that I met in those communities, like, it all just sounded like sales garbage coming out of their mouths. And I was like,
Mhm.
nope, not doing this. I think this a little over 2 years ago, I was asking around again.
Mhm.
Definitely with the shutdowns and everything going on with COVID, it had me reevaluate kind of where I was in life, where I was taking all of my extra funds and traveling. I was like, well, I can't travel right now. What do I do with this? So I was like, all right, I guess it's just time to hunker down and figure it all out. So I started asking around again, ran into some random people I hadn't seen in several years, and they told me about it. And the second I heard it, I was just like, what? Like, it just kind of had a different sound to it. It just, like, how the words they said just were like
Was it described to you as like the CD on the blockchain? Was that like part of the pitch?
It was, because this was over 2 years ago. So it was like, before Big Payday.
Wow. You're not quite an OG, but you're older in this than SJ or I, definitely. That's so cool.
I feel like that's OG enough. Hey, send me the link.
Oh, the link.
Yeah. He's down to join, I think.
But I didn't go in until after Big Payday. But it's just one of those things, like, I kept looking at it. I watched the videos. I'd go watch the community. And I met some people in the community, and, like, I watched all the streams, just like dove in. So that's been nonstop since.
That is so cool. The one thing that I'm grabbing from what you're saying, and I have to give you credit, B, is, you actually showed some proactive characteristics here. You kind of grabbed the bull by the horns and applied yourself to it. You know what I mean? And I think that is such a huge part of becoming involved in HEXICO deeply enough that you would even experience these serendipitous synchronicities that we're going to get to here. Because if you're not, I don't know if emotionally is enough, but passionately, like I always say, the most important attribute that a human being can have is care with a capital C. Whatever it is that you care about, like, if you care about killing a whole bunch of motherfuckers, you're going to be the best assassin around because you care about that, right? It's kind of been open-ended. It's been given to us that we have been blessed by the universe to have this open-ended choice. And you, B, like, you cared, like, about this thing, I think that's what it's all about. So was that the end of the story? Is there anything more you got to add?
I mean, it did take me a while to actually kind of, pull the trigger and get into it. I was letting some, a little bit of roadblocks getting in my way, and they were all just kind of more of emotional decisions. And every time I made myself force myself to question, wait, why are you stopping this thought? And so I would go and study it again. And actually, speaking of Wells, he had a lot to do with it. I understand a little of that world. I understand a lot of, so it was really great to hear others' passion. It seemed like the more people that I met or saw, there was always like this thing that rang true with what they were saying, which I'm pretty good at smelling BS from a mile away.
Yes.
And I don't fall into, I don't know, like sales pitch are the worst things you can put me through. Like I'm super ADD when it comes to that. I'd rather someone just be genuine, say this is what it is. And that's everyone that I even met. If I asked any questions, they never pushed it down my throat. They were just like, hey, just look at this research. They would give you the resource and then move about their way. So you do have to put the work and the effort in. But if you ask people, they do give the resources. And I really respected that nothing was pushed on me. I was given, if I had a question, there was always an answer there within the community. And then someone to give a link, or, hey, why don't you reference this person? They, you might align with them. So it's, I mean, if you look for your quote unquote tribe or people within the community, they exist.
Oh yeah.
That's some cool shit to me, because it's like, we're already a community, right? Hexicans just in general are a community, but then within this little Hexico land, we've got all of these sub communities, so it's like, you can really get into, this like super intimate type of group setting where, not only do you have this similar mind frame around freedom of speech and freedom of movement, because, this is what we sacrificed for, and this is what, Hex is about. But then, like, for especially HexyBee and I, we love permaculture and traveling and all sorts. So we're in all these other, subgroups that, it's like additional expression of awesomeness within the community.
Did you tell HexyBee I'm a biodynamic guy? Yeah, I'm a biodynamic gardener, HexyBee.
Send me the link though.
I already did.
No, where?
It's in your tweeter. I forgot that we had the private chat.
Can't. You have to not. I can't. Okay. Twitter doesn't work. It won't let me. It won't let me copy it on Twitter.
Okie dokie. I really wanted to pimp it if he was coming on. I wanted to put him in the thumbnail and everything, but hopefully this is the initiation of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Especially with this topic, I think he's got a bit to contribute. And then, this could be episode 1 of our
I have, speaking of communities inside the community, I have like shows inside of the show, right? Because I'm doing the comedy thing. It's because that's got people perplexed. I've been getting a lot of feedback. I'll get DMs from strangers and they're like, I heard you talking the one day and you were so inspired. I started crying and it cleared something up for me. And you were so purposeful and da-da-da. And then he's like, I tuned into you next week and you were the stupidest, comedian I've ever seen in my life. You were using
the worst ventriloquist
act, all that. I mean, if people want to tell me why or how, I don't have answers for either of those things. I'm just being authentically myself, but it is what it is.
For me, that was a really big draw is, I work in tech. So being in tech, I understand what needs to happen for adoption to go and for things to land and it not.
You understand network
expand out of, the degen crypto world. And for me, seeing the diversity and the acceptance mostly across the board on most everyone in the community, and, no one's getting paid. This is all legit. It's just one of those things. I don't know how that to me spoke more than probably any of the numbers or the facts on paper to me. And I'm a numbers and facts person.
Well, something interesting that you said to me early on then. So, here we are as a point of reference. We're talking about the genesis of HexyBee's crypto career. But early on in that last answer that you gave, you already said that you were delineating the difference between like the dog shit and equality thing. I find that interesting. And where do you think in the process, and how did you suddenly get this awareness that, oh my God, not all crypto good? Like there's actually quality, blockchain financial assets, and there's also like garbage. Like, did you have that sensibility early on? Did you come to it organically? Were you taught that, B?
Oh, I mean, that's just business. I mean, it's not all, everyone hears of the horror stories that are there for a reason because they exist.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think of all the fraud in our normal in real life, it's out there. It's out there all the time. Everyone's eyes always have to be open, always question, consider, evaluate decisions. It's not just in crypto, it's in everyday life.
Now, may I ask you to bump B, your volume up just a touch? You seem to be the quietest of the three of us.
Well, I'm also probably really far away.
That's cool. Yeah. Comfortable. We want you to be comfortable.
For me, I'm over here like
Hey,
in my cozy chair.
Jen Hex, you just can't help yourself, can you, man? My deceased mother's name was Karen, so I'm just playing. She used to get a charge out of that because a Karen she was not. Yeah, I'm the same as you. Like, I think it's a feature of being urban Northeast, part of the United States. There's something about Baltimore, Boston, the 5 boroughs, Philly, you know what I'm saying, where we have this kind of hard edge and we're like doubtful and mistrusting out of the gate kind of thing. Sometimes, to a fault, but the reason we step around that way is because that kind of protects us, okay, because of what the environment's like in those cities and in those societies. So in crypto, that, benefited me for real, because from a distance, as a general principle, like I understood early on that blockchain had the potential to free us from so much, because I know it's counterintuitive, but blockchain has the ability to remove trust from the equation. And if we can transact, get deals done, make maneuvers together where that's just off the table, like bam, you just skipped a massive step. And as I'm making that observation and I'm realizing in my little greenhorn consciousness that this could be huge, it also was a salient thought that the bad guys are going to come for this. The bad guys are going to try and get a piece of this. They're going to try and co-opt it. They're going to try to control it. They're going to manipulate it. And, lo and behold, Nostradamus BI once again, because they're on overdrive, manipulating the beautiful potential of blockchain into an entry point for global acceptance of their CBDC. Right. So we're the boots on the ground every day. And I think hexicans are damn near the spear tip of all of that.
Yeah.
Hey, no big deal, Craig. Don't worry about it. I'm just busting you. That's right. Craig Wadding, Gen Hex, just says a lot of us share more than just owning Hex or sacking for Pulse and Pulse X. And this, for me, SJ and B, this might be a cool point for me to bring up, kind of corollary, okay, to my serendipitous synchronicities. And that would be kind of a postulate that I have, that as things stand right now, I call it a postulate because it would not be provable. But I've always kind of had this belief stemming from a life of spiritualism, where I've told the story before, but I was like pass and go collecting $200 on every goddamn religion that existed on Earth. You know, stopping off for a year at Tibetan Buddhism before I made it into Sufism. And even in Sufism, I went from just reading Jalaluddin Rumi and Hafiz of Shiraz to like actually going to mosque where Bawa Muhyiddin was in Philly. So I just stopped off at all these little, you know, I didn't have the reverence, I guess. So I could say it that way. I didn't have the reverence. It was like I was at a bazaar, you know, or a market, and I was just sampling little things here and there. But when I got caught by the super awareness of the sovereign autonomy of each incarnate soul, was like literally the most powerful and important thing on the planet. That just like, whoa, just propelled me in my life into all manner of awarenesses, but also I would say in a way directly into HEXICO and magnetism with it, because I'm thinking, well, I feel this way about this, and I'm looking at HEXICO and it's like, damn, them people's about that too. Like, damn, like these are my people. Holy, you know, shit, it's amazing. And it's, you know, it's like for those who are ready, it's not a leap, is it, ladies? You know, it's like almost kind of effortless. It's kind of natural.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's it just seemed, you know, it just seemed to be right place at the right time. In terms of how, like had I not been selling the house, like I wouldn't have had extra money to put into it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to onboard people since, you know, that feel that are in that boat, right? That they were in the boat that I was in terms of student debt, like student loan debt. You know, they're just month to month, like paying the bills. So they're just like, I don't have anything extra. I have nothing to put in to this, you know? But yeah, no, what you're saying about the effortlessness of it, right? It just, as I got to know the community more, and as I got to understand more about Hex and its ecosystem and the pulse chain ecosystem in general, the more it made sense and the more I wanted to put in, because I was just like, this is it. This is what's going to change like the world.
And we've all experienced the phenomena of our earliest test stakes concluding. And whereupon they do so, you sit there and kick yourself and you're like, why the fuck didn't I just stake that for longer? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You're not sure at first though.
Yep. Yeah. Glad they were just little bitty stakes. I did too. And I was, yeah. Nope.
Oh my
God. Too short.
I've told you guys often, like the realization went upside my head and I was pot committed day 420, and as pot committed day 420. You know, and as a head, that's kind of uncanny that it was 420, but I didn't know that. It was in retrospect that I discovered. But I wasn't able to purchase because, as you know, single father, 4 littles, you know, lost the business to the scamdemic. I couldn't go when I wanted to. So there was about a 20-day gap before I could get my first bag. Well, you know what? It was actually a blessing that it was, because thereupon we had our little to 0.8 of a penny, you know, and I'll forever be so proud that first bag was at that number. But the reason I bring it up is because we're talking about staking, and I'm like, God, I miss that T-share rate. You know, like what I wouldn't do if I only knew now only knew then what I know now, right? Like, oh my God.
I've had those thoughts too. I know exactly what you're talking about, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just going up and to the right. We're at the infancy of this. We're at the baby stages. It doesn't matter if you're at 40 cents, if you are getting in now at 3 cents, 4 cents now, it doesn't matter. And like, even I felt the same way as SJ's, like, you know, mine wasn't selling a house. Mine was, oh gosh, I have this funds now because I'm not traveling. You know, I should start maybe doing some more mature moves for myself. I mean, I remember even going through school, everyone joking that Social Security won't be around even for my parents' age.
For real.
It's mine. And 401ks are a joke. I mean, just
Yeah.
much to what everyone was saying. I was like, holy hell, I've been working this long and they want me to do what? Like, what is the new work?
Right.
And I was a contractor almost pretty much all of my career. So I was just like, all right, it's time to kind of, what's that side hustle? What are we going to do here? And it was just one of the things, like, I actually saw Hex, and I call them short terms, but they were several years down the line. I'm going to be way, way out there before my first one even hits. So
nice.
and then like the more I saw things changing and going, and I was like watching the patterns and learning, I actually put in a good chunk of change in when it was 40 cents. But honestly, I didn't care. I don't have buyer's remorse now. I just scooped up some last week at 3 cents, and I'm going to do as much as I can there. And my friends that are in that situation where they don't have the money during that time, it's like, it doesn't matter if it's $20. It doesn't matter if it's $50, because right now it's 3 cents. And throw it in and stake it for 15 years. What do you need that $100 for right now?
Listen,
Exactly.
it behooves us to get it now, okay? Because I don't think some people understand how not just cool, but vital this pulse chain fork is going to be. My analysis, I haven't released it publicly, but I'm going to say it here. The end of the cycle of manipulation, or the Shemitah that it is for the dark occult, okay? They're on the 13 calendar. They're on the lunar calendar. This cycle concludes on Rosh Hashanah, and they are set up to pull the ripcord on things that we have not seen in our lifetime. Now, I have little ones, so I want to kind of temper what I say. I don't want to whip people into fear, but I'll tell you right now, Ethereum's going down to $440. Bitcoin's going down to 1175. This is all from Thothschild. The distribution chain is not just going to shake. It's going to crack. So, the whole thing that they did, which by the way was a ritual with the whole toilet paper thing, that was one of their little ways of saying, see what they are, see what kind of animals they are. I mean, they literally say in their religious texts that we're worms who come out between mom's pisser and mom's shitter, and that's the extent of what we are as a human species. They're that nasty about it. And this whole toilet paper thing at the beginning of the shammy scammy was kind of a zinger towards the human race. Okay. But anyway, at the conclusion of this cycle, things are going to get bad. And the reason I bring it up is because you were talking about, buying at 3 cents. And I immediately think about the Ethereum network. And I think about how criminal these gas and network fees are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, you've probably been in a crypto conversation where this came up in the past year or two, right? People say, well, there's 20,000 of them now. Someday they're just not going to be that many. Well, guess what, guys? End of September, October, November, I predict we're going to see the washout. And when you're talking about ERC-20s, if it's not part of a government contract, okay, like logistics, like maybe say like a V chain would be, if it's not in some way connected to the CBD process, like a stable coin or something, Thothschild thinks that ERC-20s are about to become like a dinosaur. I really, really do think that. Now, obviously, as a Hexican with lots of equity over on that side, I don't want to see it go poof. But I think that this pulse chain thing is going to end up being more important than we can even imagine right now, because there's some crazy shit coming. Now, the thing about us in HEXICO, we're the happiest community like on the fucking planet in the middle of this bear market right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're able to keep a stiff upper lip through any kind of global upheavals, that come down the pike. Just because, like I always say, I know who I am. You know, we know who we are. We know what we're doing. We know why we're here. We know where we're headed. 40 cents ain't nothing when you're headed to $2, $5, $7, $11, $20. You know, I've heard
Keep
the kids
going.
made for thousands. So.
Say more. Hey, I wanted to hit real quick on you said the Shemitah. I watched a real brief stream that Randy Hilarski did. This was probably
oh my
2 to
God, I
3
know what
weeks
you're
ago.
talking about.
Yeah, about the Shemitah. And I was like, that makes sense. I had just previously to that, I had just listened to Waters Above and Crypto Coffee. Oh my goodness, y'all. If you're into like astrology at all and you want to hear about how the moon cycles affect the markets, check out Waters Above. That is some real cool stuff.
I agree with you. Now, I was like green with envy as that was happening. I can admit this, okay? I can admit it. It's not, something I'm really proud of. I was a little green with envy because I was given Waters Above in March of 2021, which was not long after he started, by Golden Spiral, a Philadelphia musician who, when I gave him Hex, he wanted to give me a little something. Interesting side note about my onboard Golden Spiral is his father, I better not dox him, but his father was actually one of the first financial analysts in American history to use computers in analysis and stock market analysis. So that's the lineage that Golden Spiral's coming from. So when he gave me Waters Above, I was like, I stood up and took notice. Now, what it was with him was the same thing as it was for me with whales. I said, this motherfucker's over here coming out of a completely different bag than I'm coming out of, right? Different wheelhouse. But he's coming to the same conclusions. And that's what kind of blew me away about whales. And then by the same token, that's what blew me away about Waters Above. Here's the thing. And I'm not being overly dramatic when I tell you, girls. I was getting kicked out of think tanks and communities in HEXICO for the way that I talk, for my esoteric stuff. I was, given the aspersion many times of people who I could name but won't. People you would recognize, and they'd say, you fucking conspiracy theorist, we don't need that shit up in here, and I'm like, well, that's cool and all, I understand you're scared, but I know what I know, and what I am is actually an analyst, because I'm just taking the facts on the ground, running them through fucking the big brain on Brad and putting them back out there. Okay. I'm not attaching all these emotions and feelings like, I don't know, maybe you are, to this stuff. So what I did was I pulled back a little bit. Like I said, Ian, you can't be going up in every Hexican chat and talking about Lupercalia and Saturnalia and the dark occult and all this stuff.
You guys are speaking another language to me.
Well, yeah.
I'm one of the lost ones in the crowd.
Well, I don't know that you are, because so much of it might actually turn out, once you dive in, to be things that are second nature in your understanding. I'm going to give you one right here. Okay. You're aware of Star Wars, right? Everybody's aware of Star Wars. Now, that in Star Wars, we have the Force. And the Force is kind of like the animating life power. If you hear Yoda talk about it, it's the Alpha and the Omega. It can be used to, make things levitate and, block laser beams, all this amazing stuff. And the Force is utilized, right, by Jedi as well as Sith, right? Okay. This is exactly what's happening on planet Earth. We have what is called the occult, and people think they're sacrificing cats, listening to Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, not quite. Occult, the word means hidden. It just means hidden. So the occult, I always say there's no such thing as magic, but there are radically amazing things that are issuing forth from hidden science, from hidden math that we don't yet understand. Like there's an algorithm to levitating an object. There's an algorithm to SJ and I having a telekinesis moment where I communicate with her just sitting cross-legged in my bedroom. You know what I mean? The reason that it's important is because even though we're ignorant of it, I am here to tell you that the sun rises and sets for the master class on this planet with the occult. It is their religion, and there is no doubt about it. I would, SJ, I think B should probably just listen to an episode of a guy like Waters Above, because you hear that guy talk for 20, 30 minutes and you're like, oh, this has nothing to do with speculation. Like he literally is just laying it out for you and has no investment in caring whether you accept it or not. It's just what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean?
I've only heard just a tiny bit. I heard him on, like I said, Crypto Coffee's stream. And then I think I've listened to one or two. I caught him live once or twice, but it's just like, it just blows my mind. It's just blowing my mind. The way that this all, like the tangled web this all weaves. It's really magical.
The programming worked really, really good. Think about it, because for people to scoff, hey, I'm sorry, I missed you, dear. Hi.
Hey. What's up, guys?
Welcome.
Hello. Good to see
HexSiren.
you.
I mean, guys, you gotta love the dedication, right? This poor lady, she's on her lunch break and she's like rushing in here to be with us. Thank you so much for coming.
That I am. Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Good.
SJ, she's the reason why. She's the safe word is SJ.
My milkshake brings all the girls to your stream.
Woo.
Well done.
I don't know.
Next party, you're coming.
Appears.
Well, yeah, and this, I mean, y'all, the two of you are, like when he said that, he wanted some more guests on this show. Yeah, like you're the first two that I thought about, just because we don't. Like HexSiren, you and I haven't met yet. HexyBee and I have met in real life, and it's interesting because like I very quickly felt a kinship with you via foodies, like just being in the Hex Foodies group together. I was just like, oh, there's another lady, and you like Hex and you like foodie stuff, and it was great. And then HexyBee and I met in Vegas, and then afterwards, I found out that she's into
awesome.
the travel life and also some agriculture. You are into agriculture a little bit, right, HexyBee?
I don't have time to actually do it, but I do try to watch the quality of my food, and I like to see how my food is sourced.
Yep.
So it's
good.
I do the work, but I do the research in what I ingest.
Yeah.
And
good. SJ can testify. I'll say it now to get it out of the way for everyone watching too. There was nothing about my panel today that has anything to do with male or female. I'm being honest with you guys. Like when I was talking to SJ about this, I said, I want open-minded people who recognize that my theory of serendipitous synchronicity is an actual thing, and they may have experienced it in their lives, and they have a capability to elucidate on it. And she, without pausing, went bam, bam. Siren and B. I said, good, there it is. And I didn't even think. I'm like, well, these are four cool people who are going to be together. At no point was I like, oh, I'm going to advertise this as Thothschild and the ladies. Yeah.
I actually think Cosmic Cowboy might be joining us in a second here too.
All right, well, I can have four bitches on. It's okay. I'm kidding. See what I was telling you, B? Hey, Siren, I have to tell you, you're a West Coaster, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do not get offended by me. I am coarse. I am Philadelphian. I can be, well, you heard in the space last night.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you were in the space.
It's hard to offend me.
To everybody, I was mainlining bath salts into my penis or something. So
that doesn't sound good. That sounds very painful.
Well, I need to reevaluate that one.
Did you have a good time?
In the space or mainlining the bath salts? Mainlining the bath salts was not a good time.
Calgon, take me away.
Oh, I say that all the time. Isn't that precious? I say that to people. They're like, damn, nigga, how old are you?
Yep. OG.
So,
I got a
funny
question.
story.
Sorry. Yeah, go
Rags to
ahead.
Riches went to Vegas and thought you were me. He was like,
oh, right.
I went to
heard that
Vegas and I
story.
thought I was like meeting you, and it was WildSJ, and I was like, this isn't Siren, because we both
It's
had
the
pink
hair.
hair.
And you want to know what's pathetic?
Yeah,
When he
it
was
was really
describing
funny.
it, that's exactly what he said. He's like, oh, it's the hair. I'm like, dude, they don't look anything alike. But the hair, you know. Man, we're just Cro-Mags.
I know. That's okay. No, it was really funny. I was like, well, thank you for thinking of me. Like, wow.
Precious.
Yeah, she's
coming to
wonderful.
PulseCon?
Thank you. I wasn't going to, but KDP talked me into it. So I will be
Thank
there.
you,
And I'm
KDP.
bringing 3 of my Hexagon friends that I onboarded, because we're gonna we're gonna have fun. What up, Trap
Awesome.
Gravity?
Trap
Hello,
Gravity and I are going to be streaming with Brandon Rags
Right after this,
Right
right?
after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really excited.
I am too.
Exciting.
I am too. I really am. I haven't, I've been on like with Wales. I've been on Official Pulsification with Luther 3 times. I've been on Effin probably about 5 times. I was on Freedom TV once, I think. But I've been like kind of jonesing for somebody to say, hey, Thothschild, can I interview you? You know, and like nobody's asking yet. So I'm like,
Oh.
And then last night when Brandon was like, dude, I want to have you and Trap on to riff. I was like, yes. Like, 'cause now I don't have to produce.
Yeah, it's not easy, huh? Bola makes it look easy, but I can only imagine.
It's all the things I have pulling
Or
on.
bullish. Sorry.
Like I am so close to not being able to do this.
It's just too much.
So it's too much. I'm a father of 4 kids under the age of 12, of whom I have dual custody, and I have no nanny, no living relative, no babysitter, no Aunt Peggy across the street. It's like I literally go from like warrior, investor, content creator, carpenter guy, gardener guy, and I literally have to go to nurturer, nurse, laundress, baker, tutor, you know what I mean? On and on. I just every week.
Did you have a Father's Day with them last weekend?
We did that the week before because their mother needed them this weekend for something. But something cool that happens every summer is I'm about to be spending, I guess, 20 out of the next 30 days with my little tribe, because their mama goes and does her summer traipse, and I'm like, yeah, all to myself, uninterrupted. Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, you should see Solomon, SJ. When you meet Solomon, oh, I mean, this kid, scary big, scary fast, scary strong. Guess what? Scarier kind, scarier like a Buddha on earth. And here's the kicker, ladies. My firstborn son with his green eyes, that little motherfucker is better looking than Brad Pitt. I am so freaked out by how good looking my kids are. I'm like, from whence you came? And he's got the hair too. And he's playing football. So he's out there like a stud. Like, oh my God. Amazing.
It's a proud papa right there.
He was just my little guy not too long ago. Oh, well.
Logan lost his first front tooth today.
Aww.
And I was like, let's get a picture of this. He goes, no, it's ugly.
Aww.
And I'm like, no, you're really cute. You have to document this so later you can look back and be like, that's the first. Like, what day was that on? That day you lost your front tooth? He's like, okay.
Yeah, the tooth fairy coming too is a big deal.
Yeah. He was like, you're the tooth fairy, huh? And I was like,
right.
Called out. Too smart.
Yep.
No, my kid never bought into any of that right out of the gate. And then the older ones would just avail the younger ones of any kind of beliefs. They're like, Dad's the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, and Santa Claus, and the little one's like, okay.
Oh. Yeah, like, do you just let them believe? But I can't lie. So I was like, I'll fill you in. This person lived a long time ago, gave presents to kids, was a really good person. And we just carry on the tradition today because it's nice to give things to others to show that you appreciate them. But you don't have to wait for Christmas. It doesn't have to be a national holiday. It can be any time. Show your appreciation for people.
Look, my dad would not cross the bridge of speaking to me, okay, about sex, about drugs, about this, about that. With my kids, no, I'm doing like everything within reason now, because I like their innocence, but I'm being very frank and very forward with my children, because to me, this is not the era, okay, for kids that like are gonna codify these misappropriations, because look how many fucking children in grown-up fucking bodies we have right now on this planet. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. These guys claim to be like leaders of men. I'm like, bitch, you play video games in your mom's basement. Like, come on, be a man now. You're just like a teenager, man. Too much. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to grow up.
What the fuck?
It's just something happens.
Okay. Did you hear that?
SJ,
they're back with the bombs again. What did I say? It's either the neighbor mows his grass right outside of my office window, or the dogs, or they start shooting off fucking fireworks. And somebody just blew something up over there. Anyway.
Going up.
What up?
I mean, it sounds fun.
Right.
Yeah. I like that they'll do it for no reason on a Tuesday, and then you have the neighbors that are like, my dog has PTSD because of you. It's like, oh, jeez.
I'm like, it is summer. You might be having some Roman candle fights going on out there with the kids. Come on.
So,
childhood, I completely got one of those.
Siren, did you hear any of this particular stream before you were able to join?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah. I work at a grocery store, so I can't like listen while I work.
Got you. No big deal. I kind of gave the overview to the ladies, but guess what, everybody? We just got joined by another rock star. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever heard me talk about Nagabo's party and my experience at it, you will hear me allude to a silver Teletubby who was on the premises. And I couldn't figure this guy out. And then he walks up to me and he strikes up a conversation with me, and he ends up being a really, really cool person. Now, here's what blows my fucking mind in retrospect, and SJ turns me on to it. I wrote a series of emails to my potential onboards, about 50 people. I wrote a series of 8 emails. And in those emails, I included my esoteric insights into the numerology of hex. And lo and behold, SJ tells me that there's this character who gave a talk, at the Hexpo that was on this very topic. Well, guess what? Talk about serendipitous synchronicities in HEXICO. Ladies and gentlemen, so proud to welcome the Cosmic Cowboy. How are you, sir?
Aloha. Hey, thank you. What a beautiful introduction. I'm curious if you go by Tehote Child or
Ďehudy or Thoth or Toth or Thoth.
Yeah, all of the above.
So that it can be the play on Rothschild, Thoths.
Okay. Because the Egyptian is usually would be Tehote.
Ďehudy.
Yeah. But anyway, wonderful to be here. Thank you, SJ. I just arrived back on the East Coast. I'm a city of brotherly love child.
Oh my God, bro, are you kidding? We didn't even cover that.
Oh yeah, I'm born and raised in Philly, and I'm
I,
actually
Wow.
I'm in Jersey.
Serendipitous.
Yes,
Right?
she said there was she said you were doing a thing on synchronicity, and I said I just got back to my mom's. I'm actually in Jersey right now, but right over the bridge, and
Losing
so
his
I
Please
shit.
tell
said,
me you're playing games in the basement.
yeah, exactly. So it's good
Yeah.
to see everybody. Good to see
Cowboy,
everybody.
you know that I was a block captain at like Fifth and Wolf, and I lived.
What? Oh
Dude,
my
I lived in
gosh.
Philly for 17 fucking years,
Oh
dog.
my gosh. See that?
In
We've got the
fact,
Philly
I DJ'd
connection.
at so many different clubs. I had so many different residencies. I would bet you that it's more likely than not that you were probably in a club or a room or a restaurant where I was DJing at some
I think this is very big, major possibility, and
fucking
I
unreal.
love the fact that we've reunited through Hex. I mean, I've said to everybody all along, Hex is I've been involved in crypto for a long time, and
Mhm.
this is the only crypto community that I found that is a legit community, like of things that go way beyond crypto, and that's what
Yes.
makes it fun, is that the crypto is almost the door or the portal, and it's opened, and all of these, I always feel like everything is energy, so it casts out a certain energy, and the right people that are attracted to that energy come through that portal. But then
Yeah.
that's really where the fun begins. I mean, even right now is a really good example. Everybody else that I know, maybe with a few exceptions, is completely freaking out. They're like, "Oh, crypto
Right.
winter! This is what we
Noticed
all feared." And
Yeah.
Hex community is, and Pulse community, we're like just rolling on, and there's still
Chilling.
streams, and
this is the least infighting we've had in months too. Like
I
exactly,
was
everybody,
thinking that
yeah.
yesterday. I was like, usually when it's bottom, everyone is at each other's throats, but it's been super chill this time.
this is when you know, it's kind of like, yeah, when everybody's like we got to unite, we got to stick together, and explore all the other beautiful things like synchronicity. SJ, I don't know if you're going to be on the playa, but we were also talking a lot about Burning Man things, and I lead a community at Burning Man, and I've been doing it. This is going to be my 21st year. And one of my favorite
Wow.
things about Burning Man is there's just so much synchronicity. Is you could literally have not seen somebody for 5-6 years and be thinking of that person, and then you're walking across a vast desert, and at some random art exhibit you look up and there they are, and
They're there.
it's just perfect. You're not even surprised. You're just like, I knew I was going to see you here, and that
Hey
type of
B
thing.
and SJ, would you ladies mind if I just real quick did the speed read of the encapsulation of my theory, right, for Siren and for Cowboy?
Yeah, no, please do. That's what
I've like taken
your
ownership
show.
of it, but we all know good and damn well that nobody can take ownership of an axiom, a dynamic axiom of the universe, right? But I call it Thothschild, serendipitous synchronicities, and HEXICO theorem. And then I have an ancillary group incarnation postulate as well. That's a real fun one to talk about, because I envision that as us all in our spirit body millennia ago, standing in a great circle, and we're talking about what we're going to do when we get here. And it's the little one in the back who raises his hand and volunteers to be Richard Hart, in the whole thing. So the group incarnation is part of it. But real quick, just to formalize this for Siren and Cowboy, the title sounds intimidating for an organic, natural, beautiful, elegant, both simple yet awe-inspiring phenomena. You notice that since you have been in HEXICO, there have been an increasing number of strange occurrences. For the sake of my angle, let's call them resonances. Now, they can be remarkable themes, occurrences, twin, triple, quad duplicating similarities, usually through or with others, but sometimes not. Now, these can feel both inspired and inspiring. They can invoke feelings of mission or purpose, of consonance and amplitude, of enhancement, excitement, profundity, and clarity. They can even take on characteristics that were previously either unfamiliar in your life or faint. And now they have become intense, deep, persistent, pulsating, throbbing energies here in HEXICO. I finished that Cowboy and Siren by saying, once again, my mama, bless her beautiful soul. She walks with me every day now. She would say, you know that when you're experiencing that synchronicity thing, she'd say, that's God telling you you're on the right path. Well, I'm here to testify. I believe that the hexicans and pulse chainiacs together, right, are on the right path. Fix the money, fix the fucking world. So
we have a community of action. I think that's the difference. A lot of people could feel or think the same way, but without lack of action, you're not putting that energy out there.
And every day,
we have a
it's
whole
not
community of action people.
Yeah. And when my feet hit the floor, okay, every morning, I reinvigorate, I resolve that this is the day, because we don't mail it in. You don't mail it in. I mean, what's worth more than your financial equity? Your fucking time. Your time here, your incarnation. It's going away from you moment by moment. There is no time to waste. There is no time to waste. So for me, something I recognized, I see it all around me and all my brethren. You look at guys like Motley, like Wendy's for Tendies, like Whales, like Kinetics, like RG3. These guys aren't mailing it in. And those who are able, right? This is the great thing too. Those who are able to retire are now the most purpose-driven, busy individuals that they have ever been in their life. Yep. And they could very easily go drink Mai Tais and fucking shoot heron on some beach somewhere. And it doesn't even cross their fucking minds. It's amazing.
Isn't that the purpose of financial freedom? It's really like, of course, everybody's going to enjoy a little bit of time, take a vacation. Once you get off the hamster wheel, go to a beach and relax and celebrate and look at your life for a little bit. But what has been proven over millennia is that after a few weeks, for the vast majority of people, that life becomes very empty. It's actually, ideally, this is what gives you the freedom to do what you really want to do, that what you love, what you feel gifted in, and people find a new inspiration to help other people, to inspire other people. Yeah, so I completely agree. And I love seeing people that have found great success already that are becoming contributors and wanting to really change the world in a good way.
There's never tons of them. Tons of them.
For something to do. Like, I know that if I could retire tomorrow, I could fill up my work week schedule 80 hours a week like that. And when I hear people say, well, I got bored or I wasn't sure what to do, I'm like, God almighty. Like, it doesn't even occur to me. I can literally think of 500 things I will do like right away.
Yeah, and I want to bring something up real quick. Synchronistically on Sunday, this last Sunday, I just talked about on the SciVive stream. There's a part in the intro where Richard basically, it's talking about how to use SciVive. Like, how should this book, how should it be applied to your life? And what you were saying, Siren, just reminded me of this part where he basically says, if you've read this book and you have not changed your schedule, read it again. Because if you've read it, you're going to be putting more, you're going to be doing more. You're going to be putting, your feet on the ground and running and doing something with it. Because, if not, like, if you're not contributing, you're just floundering, and we don't need that. We don't need no flounders.
No. It's just not a good space to be in. Like, when you're just treading water, sitting still, stagnating, you just sit there. It's like wasted talent. It's wasted time. Especially because everyone here wants to help another. I have never been in a community ever. And I've been in a lot of different communities, gaming and working, like all different kinds. I have never been in a community that was so giving to each other. They all want to help one another. They want to help everybody. And this is something that's very special with Hex. It's a special time. It's a special circumstance. It's a special project with a special founder, special colors, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is happening now, real time with us. And it might not ever happen again, but it is a anomaly what is happening with everything right now.
Yeah.
I say all the time, especially characteristic of this epoch, this zeitgeist, right? This paradigm, that first stanza, that first line of A Tale of Two Cities is so
Oh God, what a good one.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I mean, we are in the bionic era. Everything is on steroids. You will love harder. You will hate harder. You will fuck harder. You will fight harder. You will, everything's just ratcheted up, you know.
It's ratcheted up right now and everybody feels it. It is an apex. It is happening. Things are changing. People aren't happy. They're not even hiding what they're doing. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm totally derailing the conversation because you just said you were in a gaming community. Is that true?
Yeah. It was Rise of Kingdoms. So I was having that for a while.
I was just curious if you'd ever heard of the PMS clan or the Frag Dolls.
No.
Okay. No. I was like, that would be really crazy if we were both in competitive gaming at some point. Sorry.
Yeah.
I digress.
Is this a Kool-Aid related thing, SJ?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was a gamer for a long time. I don't game anymore, but I used to compete in Halo.
I don't know how you girls could do it.
Oh, wow.
You got the nerds lining up around the block like, there's a lady, there's a woman in the community.
I don't think that matters where you're at.
I've got a question that might lend to some synchronicity, which is, given everything that we've been talking about and that you were just emphasizing, the kind of intense state of the world in the moment, which is always, I'm curious, what are something like that you guys we're kind of halfway through 2022. We have the really exciting, we're still on the brink of the pulse chain, which a lot of people, some people have become impatient about without really recognizing what an enormous game changer it is. I mean, if you look at how big it is and how thorough the people behind it are trying to be, it would lend to being patient. But we have that coming up. Hex is in a really fascinating place. Wonderful opportunity to buy.
I agree.
Definitely share it with your friends. I think a lot of people have been quiet right now. When in the long run, this is going to be a huge opportunity. If you've got people that have been like, but you should say they can still double up on Pulse. And what is it? We're under 5 cents or I don't know.
I think it's at 4.
And Ethereum gas is not bad right now too.
Yeah, for all of those reasons, great buying opportunity. But my question to the panel is, name one thing, inside or outside of the topic that you're just really excited about in the next, the second half of this year.
After this year?
No, just like from between now and the end of the year.
Meeting everybody at PulseCon.
Yes.
I'm gonna get to meet you guys.
Yeah, you are.
What's cooler than that? And vibe off each other's energy instead of just over the internet. I can give you a hug.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. I mean,
awesome.
The
so many hugs.
Vegas
I give hugs.
Vegas is really, well, Vegas is Vegas, but for the purposes of what, gathering with people from all over the world or the country and only having a few days, it's pretty incredible because you get to do the conference. There's amazing restaurants, amazing activities. I mean, anybody, last time when we were at the Hex conference, I was able to go one night to Area 15. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but there's just some amazing things and it's so much fun and a great opportunity for us to connect physically. So yeah, and I'm gonna be on the NFT panel. I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
There's really, it's gonna be really good for the whole community. So I agree with that one. How about you, SJ?
Oh, for me, honestly, it's being able to put out the audio version of Fix the World. It's coming slowly, but I think that's actually, I'm hopeful that it's going to be something that is going to really expand the image that Richard has, because it's a lot shorter than SciVive, right? It's just it's like a chapter of SciVive, basically. Okay. It even is in Telegram. It's deemed as the 11th chapter of SciVive. It says second book, Fix the World. But the things that he says in Fix the World, I mean, there's a lot that's not in SciVive, and it's a so much bigger picture type thing.
Are you guys doing the audio right now?
I'm working on the audio right now. Yeah, I had to take the current text and edit it so that it's easier to read. But I'm like 85% of the way done with that. And then I'm going to start reading. Did that just happen?
Well, I wanted to kind of brag. I wanted to brag a little bit and share with you guys. It actually happened last week, and I couldn't believe it.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
No,
congratulations.
He and I went back and forth 3 times. And he directly answered a couple of my questions like live on stream in like end of 2017. 2018. So I'm one of the lucky ones, but the fact that he actually did this, man, that was like mind blowing for me.
Hey man, he loves our community. He
does.
That's what he's said repeatedly, that it's what he's most proud of.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, look at what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Look at what everybody's doing. Like Richard's doing his stuff, but look at what the Hexicans have done.
Yeah.
There's so many websites and things and onboarding and just absolutely everywhere. Everybody can do anything. I love that.
What a sweetheart.
Yes. We love you, Richard.
That's my bro, you know? Shit.
That's a good pick. Hey, look, man,
That's a great pick.
For all we know, he could be watching now. Though it's
exactly,
like the middle of the night. Wait, HexSiren, where are you? It looks like it's still sunny out.
I'm in Washington State.
Oh, okay.
It is hot. It's like 80 degrees here.
That's a heat wave
pardon
today,
the sweat,
all
like
over.
sweaty.
And how about you, HexBee? Where are you coming in from?
Hey, I'm on the East Coast.
All right, we got some East Coast representation.
I'm normally in bed by 9.
That's usually me too.
Cowboy, when the kids
Thanks for staying awake.
When the kids started coming, we were inching farther and farther away from the urban, environment. The night that my ex-wife and I found out that Solomon was on the way, we had a shootout on the block that lasted like 10 minutes. Ballistics was out there until 4 a.m. picking up shell casing.
Wow.
And I looked at her and I said, we ain't bringing a human being into the world down here. So we just kept inching our way farther out to the green, right?
Good for you.
So now I find myself I'm in the woods. I'm literally in the middle of the woods now. As a bachelor, divorcee, single father of these 4 little ones, and I'm in the woods in this trailer. I love it. But I'm an hour and a half from Manhattan Island, and I'm an hour and a half from the Liberty Bell too.
Wow.
So,
good. Oh, that's
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Best of all worlds.
You can go up or down and be and then, but for the quiet, I bet it's a lot quieter and more peaceful where you are.
Well, it's kind of funny. I stick out like a turd in a punch bowl around here because let's just put it this way. There aren't too many underground hip hop crackers out here. Okay. So
cute snort.
If I'm rocking like Jay Dilla or Madlib in the middle of the afternoon on my Yamaha 8s and the whole place is going, the old guy with the suspenders on is on his tractor.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm curious. I wanna like full circle it back to Cowboy's question about.
Oh yeah, I didn't answer that.
The two of you, y'all didn't answer. What are you looking forward to in the next 6 months?
Honestly, like just for me, like I think Pulse is going to happen when it happens. I don't think about it. It's not a concern. It's not a day. I know that it's a thing. Like, and some people are really anxious about it. But
yeah,
technology launches happen that way. That is legit. I'm in it. It happens. And for me, I'd rather it be perfect and know when it lands, it's going to be the right time.
Yep.
So for me this year, it's exciting of all those things that are going to happen. But honestly, I'm in this grow grind part time in my life. So I'm actually really focusing on just like my career and, kind of with Hex has actually brought in like it's actually expanded my mind and opened me to think of you always think about like people retiring or doing those things. It's actually done the opposite for me. For me, it's like inspired me to work a little harder and be like, hey, wait, if I get to this level, I can do this. If I get to this level, then I can now do these things. So it's actually inspired me to dream bigger. So I've actually like reevaluated like my 5-10-year plan. So my now 10-year plan is now a 5-year plan.
Nice.
It's great.
I'm heads in and doing those things. So I am excited about Paul's Chain. I'm super excited about Vegas. But I'm really excited to just kind of grow and then see
That's
like
beautiful.
when everything lands,
Yeah.
when the bear market's over, because that's the thing. Like this is a time for us to prepare. I'm a preparer. And it is going to turn on a dime. And instead of, we all know that the bad is coming. We all know the good is coming right behind it. So
Absolutely.
my challenge to myself is what can I do with this quiet time to get, do that network effect when it gets blowing up.
Good.
Nice.
Awesome.
So,
Congratulations. That's really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that basically having vision and intention, you can be in the moment and actually thriving in the moment in your life, but it's still awesome to have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan that becomes a 5-year plan, because it's kind of like a roadmap. It's like you're driving and hopefully you've got your current reality is your vehicle. So you want the tires to be good. You want to be able to handle all the terrain. Like you said, right now that's your career and you're grinding, you're making it work. But the 5-year plan to me is like the roadmap. It's like, where do I want to go? And instead of just driving blindly and hitting all the potholes and dirt and the road ends, you actually are like, no, we're going there. And now we've got a map to get there. So you can still really enjoy the ride. So I love it.
Yeah, that's really been kind of my thing. It's, it's people talking about their Hex Flex doing this or doing these things. I'm like, oh, no. I want to use that and do this with it.
Oh,
yeah.
Who is that?
What a
SJ?
cute cat.
Pretty
Who
cat.
was that?
this is Princess Sophia Bailey McIntyre.
Princess
I call her Sophia.
Bailey McIntyre. I love it.
Just Sophia. She's 15.
Oh my God,
Old lady.
really?
Old
She's so
lady.
fluffy. Oh my God.
Adorable.
So
Adorable.
cute.
So Cowboy, same question to yourself. What are you excited about?
I mean, I'm really excited. I have to say, I'm doing a lot right now with my Burning Man community. It's called the camp that I've co-founded is Camp Mystic. So and now me and Crypto Kool-Aid and Dr. Sunshine. There's a lot of Hexicans that are a part of Mystic, and so he even came up with the term Mist Hex instead of Mystics.
Nice.
Mist Hex. It's a lot of what we're talking about here. It's, to me, the things that I really love is the week that we're in the desert together is it's filled with synchronicity. Everybody's really inviting everybody else to sort of realize their highest potential, or like, what's your superhero? Like, how do you want to be in the world, and what would that look like? And how would you like people to kind of see you and react to you in that? And that sort of really comes into play. I feel like symbolically for me, it's like your smartphone. And when I go there for a week, it's filled with such creativity and love and just magic and inspiration that it's like I get charged for the whole year. And this year I get to literally, I'm like actually leaving, well, not early, but I would normally stay to the breakdown phase, and I'm leaving as soon as the temple burns to go down to PulseCon. So I'm gonna be like,
Oh, it's right before that.
Yeah, it's literally the week.
And where is it in the desert? Is it in Nevada?
It is about 3.5 hours north of Reno in the Black Rock Desert.
Oh,
and
okay.
and this year in particular is special just because of COVID and all of that. It's the first time in kind of 30 years that there wasn't an official Burning Man since 2019. So now you guys have probably found it. I mean, I know it's a little old now, but remember when we were all just happy to not have to wear masks and to be able, like I still kind of go some places and you see people just seem happy, like, oh, I can go in a restaurant, I can interact with people. And again, I know that, we're still dealing with, you still have to be cautious.
Right.
It's not gone from the world, but things have shifted in a really healthy way, which is great. So that's kind of what's happening this year with Burning Man, and that people are really, really excited to be able to do it and celebrate again. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And you know, in terms of, I guess, Hex, and I am really excited for Pulse, but like HexBee, I agree. You know, again, an analogy that I try and make for people is it's not like a website. It's a whole new internet. You know, like, I mean, you know, like that would be,
Yeah.
or, you know, it would be like a new browser. So a browser is, you know, there's millions of things, and you have to make sure everybody that wants to live on that browser is going to be happy. That's a lot different than like building a really big and dynamic website, which can also be a big task. When you see the comparison, though, you kind of get it. So I'm not impatient. I mean, I think the thing for some of us that are you know, early hexicans, or, you know, were in early phase hexicans, you saw that, you know, the rise was actually a lot faster and you know, more sort of rapid and amazing than a lot of people had even anticipated. And so that's incredible, but it can also create impatience in some people. Like, we shouldn't forget the whole beauty of Hex is patience. You know, it's about the time hold. It's actually designed for what HexBee was saying. Like, the Hex is designed so that you can make your investment and then live your life and then do your thing and share, if that means doing another career or streaming, or, you know, you can do all this stuff. You're not a trader that's on, you know, freaking out and stressing out every day. And so it's the same for me with Pulse, is that I am really excited, but I think there's plenty of prep work for all of us to do. Like, I kind of relate to what HexBee said. I have so much things that I'm trying to do, and I want to be set for the day that launch happens, that, you know, I'm very patient, you know, so, but I am excited for it whenever it comes. And I feel like there's a renewed, I don't know. I mean, I just sort of feel like in general, we have an opportunity right now. This is an opportunity for everybody, like for us to come together and to get our act together and to better ourselves. So that's what I'm excited to do the rest of this year.
I want to say something related to that. And I think everybody should pay attention. Guys, it behooves us as Hexicans, germane to this PulseCon 22, not to conduct ourselves as if our shit don't stink. Cowboy brings up a good point. You know, this isn't just the one record by the one band we're talking about. This has got to be an entire record mart, this chain, this network. So as hard as it might be for us because of what we know and where we are in our education curve, guys, bend over backwards to welcome the Shiba Inu people. I know, but you got to do it. Welcome these Doge motherfuckers. Welcome these people from all
them
these
in.
other chains. Now, that having been said, because of my own personal knowledge and experience, okay, some people know better than others what I'm talking about. Just because it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, what I mean is, not everybody who claims that they are a card-carrying Hexican wants the best for you or for Richard or for this community. So I think it also behooves us to never let up on the DYOR principles. A lot of these aftermarket third-party projects that are launching on Pulse do have promise. However, there are a few that do not. And I would say you can find out the okie doke by asking yourself if this project or product was what it claims to be. Would it have to, for example, fabricate the appearance of virality? Would it have to program a bot to upvote it on Pulse Lead if it was like a Hedron or a Maximus was? I don't know, folks. I'm not going to let it all out of the bag. It's up for each of us to do our own work, but head up, eyes and ears open at all times.
Always.
I do rely a lot on the community when it comes to that. I didn't get into any of the new projects until I watched other people talk about it and explain it. but not just one. Like I waited for everyone. And then I was like, okay, now I'll check it out. Because I'm such a noob, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm trying to help the people that I onboarded not get screwed either or hacked. So I'm just following.
One thing that I can speak towards that, and again, it's a hybrid. I definitely respect and like analytics. I like charts. If you listen to people like Wales or Gerardo, and like they're people that, yeah, exactly. There are a lot of people that put their time and energy and talent into giving you, not opinion. They give you like, let's look at this, and that's really valid. And another thing, though, I was going to say, and this is regardless of how quote unquote new you are, is, use your intuition. Crypto is so vast and so dynamic. There's literally thousands of projects. The real reason that I got attracted to even Richard was that the minute somebody, introduced me, there was just a resonance, and it was interesting because at that time, he was, when I was first introduced to him, he was being shit on horribly.
It's just constant for him. It sucks.
Scam. All that was coming at me. But my intuition was like, wait a second, just listen. Right. And it connected. And it was like, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. And I feel like that's what I got with Richard. And so, again, I'm just saying that was a big reason I connected to Hexes. It was an intuitive hit. So I'm kind of saying, if you're part of this community, you probably have that in you. And I would use that too with projects.
I love that you said that.
First, go with the intuitive. Go with the intuitive hit, and then do the due diligence. Yeah. And if those two match, you're pretty golden.
Perfect.
There you go, because you're going to the yin and yang almost of the characteristics that we need to exercise. You actually just said, everybody exercise your feminine principle. Everybody exercise your masculine principle when you're dealing with all of these things. I love it. Our society is consistently sending us the message, your intuition is bullshit. Don't trust your gut. Don't know nothing. You should trust me and
trust the media.
We know, but your intuition doesn't know.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
I would go so far as, I know this is a little bit more radical, but if you're ever feeling kind of overwhelmed or just a little shell shocked, do a media fast, a complete fast. A lot of the time people don't realize it, but just subtle television, news in particular, there's programming there, and it's powerful. They've really figured that out. And when you talk to people, no matter who they are, you talk to people that go to the woods or go on a trip, and they're away from their phone, they're away from all that stuff for a little while. You can see the difference. They'll be like much more in themselves. That's where you tap into, we know a lot more than we think.
Yeah.
Indeed. Oh, indeed. I always say, this natural law, the universal law that I speak about, which is the right and responsibility of every sovereign, autonomous person, Cowboy. I say that it's right in the helix in between A, C, T, and G. It's your knowledge, your endogenous knowledge. And it's not fucking complicated. I actually just laid it out in one of my last episodes at the very end. There's two things you fucking got to know and practice, guys. Number one is, do not initiate harm against another sentient being. And number two is, don't steal. And I mean, that covers it all, because you don't steal life, you don't steal property, you don't steal somebody's looks, you don't steal their attention, you don't steal details from them, you don't steal time, you don't steal. It all comes down to fucking thievery. If we just remember, don't steal, don't initiate harm against sentient beings, you're good to go. Now, it's a more nuanced conversation about what I would do to the guy who tries to climb through my window. I do not believe in turn the other cheek. So that's a whole different bag of chips. But yes on what you said, Cowboy. Oh my goodness. It's not said enough.
Yeah, you guys know this one. And I apologize, because probably Thothschild, we can easily go in the esoteric direction. So I don't want to take it too far, but this is a really great mantra. One of my favorites is Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free.
I like that. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah.
I like
That's beautiful.
I like the one that says, take each step on the earth as if the ground beneath you were the skulls of all of your forebears. That is some heavy shit.
We kind of are, though.
It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, guys, we are, just so that I can, you want to talk about how I shift gears on the fly? Shifting gears from this conversation to going over with Rags and Trap Gravity.
That's going to be a
and
trip.
literally doing a stream of
I can't wait to watch that.
consciousness riff on photos. Oh my God. If I showed you guys the picture that I literally could not get a graphic designer today. I got 1 death threat, 3 fuck yous, 2 no way, I can't do it. And I didn't know that people were so easily like horrified, but I had this great idea for an image that I just needed a capable graphic designer to take a tool, let's call it, and just simply put a different image where the tool was. And people were just like, oh my God, I'm reporting you. You're disgusting. And I'm like, well, grown adults, complicit parties. What are we talking about? Anyway, I digress. So you guys want to know what I'm looking forward to then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah, let's end it on that.
I mean, it's hard. I'm still in training. I really can admit that. I'm still in training because when you're still in the heat of the battle, you can be apophatic about it. You can be apophatic. You can be negative. What do I most hope for in the second half of 2022? That the kids don't starve and that the lights stay on. And, it's like all these like kind of negatives. I hope this doesn't happen. So, if I'm being empowering, I mean, I would say for my life, fuck. The barometer of how things are going will be if this is still happening. The Thothschild channel still exists and there's still a mind spray show in 3 weeks, in 6 weeks, then you will know that shit's going great. So I look forward to this reignition of my creativity because I am a jazz guitarist. I am a hip hop scratch DJ. I am a rapper. I am a writer of prose. I am a researcher and an analyst. These are things that, because of the different iterations of my own bullshit, okay, that I was maturing out of, all the things that we do, all the thieving, right, that we do as we grow. My reaction was I pushed all this to the rear, like the guitar, like, my God, my son rose and set with it. I was accepted to be the student of Pat Martino, like my favorite jazz artist ever accepted me personally to be his student. Well, guess what? Thothschild, since he was trying to be a responsible father, repudiated his instrument, dragged my feet, and now my hero is dead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying,
but you're also a good father.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So I'm
like
told.
Anything's worth it for the kids.
Yeah, I just don't think that I had to throw the baby out with that bathwater. I think maybe it was an overreaction. I mean, I know why I stopped gigging, right? I stopped gigging because I couldn't say no. Plus, I was trying to be loyal to one woman at the time. You know what I mean? So how am I going to come home with coke rings around my nose, lipstick on my collar at 4 a.m. if I'm trying to be a good dad? So I was like, no, fuck that. I'm done.
Yeah.
Living different.
You turned into a better person. You put your dreams aside to become a bigger, better person.
I think it's
That's
fair.
good. So don't feel like you missed that opportunity.
Right.
Feel like you sacrificed something that you really wanted for something that really mattered.
I like that.
And that makes all the difference for who you are now.
Now is now in version 9.7 that I want to be able to spread my wings again. You know what I mean?
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on again. It's on.
It's on.
It's on. Speaking of that, I got to get back on.
I know you've been awesome. I
some
can't believe you spent this
groceries.
much time with us.
Thank you.
I know. I was
Yeah,
like,
thank
well, I
you.
guess I'll take an hour lunch. Hopefully they don't miss me.
Siren,
Are we gonna
right
see
now,
everybody? Is everybody gonna be at PulseCon?
I'll be there.
speaking.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Hey, listen, Siren,
I might be in the fashion show.
can we
Nice.
get a verbal commit from you that we could make this 5 of us a regular occurrence on the Mind Spray, maybe once a month? I would like to have
I would like that.
this
That'd be
panel
cool.
as the Serendipitous Synchronicity panel.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
get me the. Just get me
BSS.
the. Get me the.
BSS
info
Toth.
on the dates. Would love to. I mean, look. You know, one excuse I have is I just want to see these beautiful faces. I mean, you know, if I get to look at these beautiful faces, that's, you know, awesome. So great.
This
to
is a
see
mild
everybody.
improvement over MT Coiner and Jen Hex and side effects for me as well.
I gotta sign off too. I love you guys, and
Love
until the
you,
next
brother.
one.
So good. I'm so honored you came through. Hey, Cowboy, do
Yeah.
you remember by the pool at Nagabos? You took my number.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had a great conversation.
We did.
You were surprised because I knew who you were, and you were like, "Wow, you watch my streams?"
Well, I wasn't doing my own stream, but I had been on Whales so many
Whales.
times
I
that
just
people
saw
were
you with
starting to know.
Whales. Yeah.
Well,
you
God
know.
damn it. It is so good to have you both. Siren, thank you, my dear. Cowboy,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
SJ.
You
Bye,
rock,
Hexy.
baby.
Yeah.
Will you
This
come
worked
back?
out really
honey?
well.
B,
See you,
will you come
Cowboy.
back?
Oh, I can try for sure. I'll just need if I'm in town or not traveling. Bye, Siren.
All right. Take care.
Aloha.
Yeah. Maybe a little earlier.
She's frozen.
So we're not so sleepy.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
as-
maybe earlier if possible, but I know you've got your hands full.
that's cool. Well, you know, if it's important, we kind of tend to make it happen. Care with a capital C. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look how Siren's face
Yeah.
is frozen. How cute.
So
So
cute.
her.
How cute is she? Listen, guys, personally, Thothschild, I want you all to know something right now. This young lady here, okay, that's next to me, I guess as you guys are looking at it, she would be over here on my Leonard. She has reinvigorated me. She has put some new premium unleaded in my Hexagon gas tank.
Pep in that
And
step.
I am so very proud to, call her sister. And thank you, SJ, for everything that you're bringing to this
Absolutely.
community and to my life.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Namaste, kiddo.
Namaste, y'all.
All right,
Have a
guys,
good night.
I am going to head over to Rags to Riches, and therein you will hear me put on a different personality entirely and ass out like a
It's
motherfucker.
gonna be great.
Oh, have fun with them.
Thanks. All right, guys, let's see what we can get for a fill-in outro here. Wonder if this is tuned up, huh? I usually drop this. Ooh, I usually drop this down to like a drop C tuning of my own invention. But many musicians out there heard the EAD-GBE standard tuning, right? So let me see. So yeah, Thothschild, episode fucking 10. Sounds funny to say it. I can't believe I made it. I am getting my gold club together. That's all the people who donated, or in some way supported me on this journey. Guys, ERC20 wallet address is in the show description, as well as dirty fiat options in Cash App and Venmo. The kids and I would really appreciate it. And it would even, I dare say it would even help me keep doing this program, which is kind of touch and go at the minute. All right, my friend. I I have not done this in a very long time, so I don't know. Rusty. Oh man, am I ever rusty? I don't even have calluses anymore. That's fucked. This used to be my life on these fretboards, man. Lost it. I'm gonna have to start all over again, man. Fucking crazy. To be continued.